In this lecture, you'll learn how to migrate your SQL Server database to an Azure SQL database using a bacpac file. In simple terms, a bacpac file is a compressed archive file containing your data. So we are going to be generating a bacpac file and then importing that bacpac file to the Azure SQL instance. So here I'm just going to connect to a local on-premise instance that I have running. Now I'm going to expand databases, and here I have the AdventureWorks LT 2019 database. To generate a bacpac file, right click on your database, select Task, and scroll down to Export Application Data Tier. You want to be exporting and not extracting, you'll get it confused sometimes. Right, so we're going to select Extract Data Tier Application. To generate a bacpac file, right click on the database, select Task, and then scroll down to Export Data Tier Application, not Extract Data Tier, because you will get confused sometime. So select Export Data Tier Application. I'm going to maximize this. On this page, you have the option to do not show this page again, so I'm going to select Next. On this page, you can choose to save the export to a local disk, or you can save it to Microsoft Azure. If you select this option, you will require to connect, login, select a storage account and a storage container. However, for now, I'm just going to go with save to local disk. For the save to local disk, I'm just going to specify the location where I want the bacpac file to be stored. So I'm just going to shorten this and call this AVW. Now you don't need to specify the extension because it will automatically save it as a .bacpac file. So I'm going to select OK. On the Advanced tab, you have the option to select the schemas and tables that you want to be included within your archive file. Then select Next. On the summary page, you'll see the instance name, the database, and the tables that will be exported and the target location of the bacpac file. Now select Finish. Here we have an interesting error. So here it says unsupported elements were found in the schema used as a part of the data package. And it went on to say, element demo user 2 has been orphaned from its login and cannot be deployed. So on on-premise SQL Server, orphaned users are supported. Now an orphaned user is basically a user at the database without a login at the instance level. To resolve this issue, you can migrate the user to a contained user or just delete the user completely and then recreate it when you migrate. For simplicity, I'm going to select OK and then delete the user from the database. So I'm going to select Close here. Now let's expand security for the database, expand users, and get rid of the demo user 2. Now let's delete the user 2. So let's delete, OK. Now let's restart the export again. So it's, you select the database, select Task, Export Data Tier Application, and then you complete the process. So I'm going to browse to my location again. I'm going to call it AVW, shortened for AdventureWorks. Then select Save. Then select Next, and then select Finish. Now the operation has been completed successfully. So I'm just going to close this window. Now to import the database to your Azure instance, ensure you connect to your database instance, then expand, right click on databases, and then select Import Data Tier Application. Select Next. Now here you need to browse for the location, or if you are importing from an Azure storage account, or if you're importing from Azure, then you'll select Import from Windows Azure Connect, select your account, and then select the file that you want to import. It will be just like you're selecting from a local disk. So I'm going to select Import from local disk and browse for my bacpac file. So here I have my AVW bacpac. I'm going to select Open and then select Next. Here you now have the option to change the database name. So I'm just going to call this AVW2 for now. And you have some additional database settings. You can choose your maximum database size. I'm just going to set this to 10 gigabytes. Service objective, I'm going to keep it at S0. You can go all the way to S12. And I'm going to select Next and then select Finish. So the deployment will take a few minutes to complete. And this will be largely dependent on the size of your database. In a case where you have large databases like 300, 400, 600 gigabytes, then using this method may not be the best approach because it will take a longer time to get the export done. In the next lecture coming up, we're going to be taking a look at the SQL package, which is a lightweight command line application which you can use to export and import bacpac files, which you can use to import and export bacpac files. The operation has been completed, so select close. Now let's refresh our Azure SQL instance. Let's refresh the databases. Now here we have the AVW2. Let's expand. And now we can see all the objects that were successfully migrated. In the next lecture, we're going to be taking a look at migrating with SQL Server package.